Hey there, so today I am going to do a smoky eye and nude lip look. I've gotten a lot of requests for this. I don't usually do it very often because personally on me, I don't look great with a smoky eye, but I can do it. So I wanted to put together a quick smoky eye look for you with some nude lips because I did finally find some nude colored lip colors that I really like. So to start out, just to let you know, I've already moisturized my face and I put this Aqua Priming Base by Makeup Revolution on my face. I like this better than any primers that I've used before, primarily because it's sticky, so my foundation stays on really good after I use it. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it. It's very affordable. You can get it at Ulta. I love this brand. They have lots of great dupes. So to get started, I'll use the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Makeup. I use the color Creamy Natural. I really like this stuff, and I've been using it a lot lately. The color looks good on me too, so that always helps. So I'm going to apply this with this Real Techniques brush. This is really for BB and CC creams, but it works really well with this makeup as I've been using it lately. So I'm just going to dot that on my face. Ignore my fingernails. I kind of chopped them all off last night because I got mad at them. They were all like splitting and not being wonderful at life. So there's probably going to be some fake nails in my near future. Sorry, I have a mirror right here, so if you see me looking off to the side, it's just so I can make sure I'm hitting all the areas of my face. So I'm just going to kind of pat that in and make sure I spread it out evenly over the face. I like the finish of this, and the reason why I do is because I have dry skin, an oilier skin, or if you're more of a combo type of person, but if you're dry like me, you're going to want to use these makeups that offer a dewy finish or a healthy glow. I can get away with some satin finishes that are sort of like matte, but they're not quite as flat, because if you want your makeup to look matte, you can do it without having to use a foundation that is mattifying. So yeah, I'm just spreading that out. And I just really like this finish and this makeup. It has pretty good staying power too. I've worn it to a lot of meetings lately and stuff like that, and it tends to stay on really well, and the color matches my skin tone nicely, so I like that. Generally, I'll always go in with the Beauty Blender and just kind of pat it out just to pick up any excess makeup that might be on my face, and just to make sure that it looks smooth, because sometimes if you use a brush, you kind of get those brush strokes in your face, which I haven't had the problem with the brush I was just using, but it's always good just to go in and pick up the extra. I'm putting a lot of makeup on my face, so it helps to kind of eliminate as much product as possible, especially when you're using this much makeup. And this is a full glam look, so yes, I'm going to be putting a lot of crap on my face, and that is fine. If you are going to go out or something like that, I've been playing around with makeup for my New Year's look. I have a big zit right there, by the way. And this is the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Concealer. It tends to look really good with this makeup, so that's why I'm using this, in case you were wondering. So I'm just gonna pat that out, and I am going to set this, and I'm going to bake my face. So you will get to see another baking session that does not involve baked goods, just faces. Har har har. Alright, so just patting that out. This isn't as, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as full coverage as that Unique concealer that I use, but since this makeup that I have on is pretty good about full coverage, I am not going to use as thick of a concealer as I normally would. And I'm going to have to blend this out pretty good. But I'm going to bake, so you'll see it all kind of come together and look perfected. And the stuff that I use to bake, I really like it a lot. I use the Flower Beauty finishing powder, but I still to this day like the RCMA powder the best. It just is a lot more creamy looking, and it doesn't like gather up and make you look old. Being that I'm dry under my eyes, if I don't use the right type of powder to set my makeup with, it can be disastrous and not look pretty. So, yeah. Okay, so I just put that on my eyelids. It tends to serve as a really good base for eyeshadow. So now that I have done that, I am going to bake my face really quick. Like I mentioned, I do use the RCMA powder. It comes in this, and I really don't like this packaging. It's really messy. But one of the things that was pretty cool is I had an old powder compact from when Bare Minerals was Bare Essentials, and it used to be a way for me to take that with me, so I just popped that in here so you can see it's just that translucent powder. And I love to use it like this because it just doesn't make as big of a mess. It's kind of nice. So I'm just going to take like a makeup wedge. You can use your beauty blender too, but I don't want to use it because I don't want to mess it up. Plus I like how this puts it on my face. So when you're baking, you really only want to go under your eyes here, and I will go across where I'm going to contour because that's just one option. You don't have to do it. And then I will just do like my chin and just under my eyes. So it's okay to liberally place this on your face. And you want to stay just right under the eye. You really don't want to go too much more out. It's really just going to mattify all those pores and bake the makeup into the face so that it stays as long as you need it to. Okay, so I'm going to look a little crazy for a little bit. So if you want a deeper contour, especially if you're going to parties or if you're like going out, especially this time of year, we all tend to go to a lot of parties, what you can do is take this at the lower part of your jaw and just kind of bake that part of your face as well. And yes, I'm going to look absolutely insane, but this just gives you a really clean contour whenever you go through that process. And I know, that looks a little nuts, but I promise you, it will be beautiful when we're done. I do my chin just because my chin tends to get a little bit oily, so I'm just gonna bake that. And then just make sure that my under eye is really good. So no other parts of your face really need to be baked, and you're gonna look like a powdered donut for just a few minutes. Okay, so while that is so let's get started on the eyes. We're gonna be using the Drawn In Decked Out palette by Smashbox. The first thing I'm gonna do is pick up this wheat color. It's just kind of a darker bone color. It's matte. Just prepping those eyelids for those darker colors that we're gonna be putting on in just a second. Just helps blend a little bit better. So now we're gonna go on with this grayish green color here, and we're gonna start on the outer corner of the eyes, kind of packing that in more heavily on the outer corners, and then working that in with a lighter touch to the center of the eye. Same thing on the other side, just packing it into that crease on the outer side, and then working it in with less intensity towards the center of the eye. Don't worry about it being clean, you can clean it up later. Again, I also put it on the outer corner of my eyelid, down on the bottom. So you can see I'm just kind of putting it there, and I'm leaving the center part of my eye all the way into the inner crease kind of clean. So now I'm just taking a clean brush, blending that out, making sure that the colors don't look splotchy, trying to make it just look smooth. Next, we're gonna go in with this darker hunter green color. We're just picking that up. We're gonna use the same technique, packing it in on the outer corner of the lid and into the crease, and then kind of working that in with that gray color that you just put on. And this just helps to build the colors and make the intensity of the color that you're putting on top a little bit more intense and smoky. So again, just working that in, really focusing on that outer crease more so than the inner crease, and then just slowly working it in. Then take a clean fluffy brush, again, blend, blend, blend. The more you blend, the smoother and nicer your smoky eye is gonna look. And just touching up any spots. I always have a tendency to make one eye look slightly different than the other. It's sort of annoying, but I always find a way to fix it. So now just take a flat brush, and we're going to pick up a bone-colored shadow. I don't want to use anything too shiny, so I'm just doing a matte color and plopping that under my eyebrow just to bring that out a little bit. And then I'm going to pick up this shiny goldish topaz color. It's going to go on the inner corners of my eyes. And this is really the secret to a smoky eye. You don't want the entire lid to be black, otherwise you're going to look like a raccoon. So we're just putting that into the inner corner there, kind of packing that into the tear duct and kind of going over that green a little bit. And then in just a second, we'll pick up a fluffy brush and sort of blend the outer corner with the inner corner to give it kind of a seamless sort of look. So that's what we're doing now, just kind of blending. The more you blend, the more beautiful the look. All right, so now that we've done that, I'm gonna take a liner brush that's just real skinny, and we're gonna pick up that light topaz color first and put it on the bottom lash line in the inner corner. So that's what I'm doing right now. That part of the eye, we want it to keep it a little bit lighter, just so the eye doesn't look totally closed off. And then we'll go back in with those two darker colors. I'll blend those together, and then you'll line the bottom of the lash just like you would with a liner and meet that darker color up at the top so that it all kind of flows together and you get that nice sultry look. So doing the same thing on the other side. And then you can take a pencil brush if you don't want that to be so defined and just kind of smudge it out again, just going for that more sultry look. All right, so that's what the eyes look like. here we go. Over here, we're just gonna dust that off here in just a second. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and dust off all of my baking, and you can kind of see how it's just gonna make all of my pores look like they're gone. So let's see, we'll use this brush for under the eye. So you can see how that's really set my under eye there. We're gonna dust that away. I'm gonna use a bigger brush for this. Dust off my chin. Probably gonna have to clean that up just a little bit. That's all right. So now you can see my pores look like they're not there anymore, and my contour is like super fresh. Yeah. Okay, so now is the part where we go and add some highlight, and I'm gonna bronze up the face just a little bit because I look really pale. The darker eyes will always make you look pale, so you're gonna wanna bronze your face a little bit, and I like to add a lot of highlight just to make it look really glamorous, and then we'll do the nude lips really quick. So again, I'm gonna go into this Deck of Scarlet. This is my favorite. It's the Amy Rose Deck of Scarlet palette. I've used it to death. I'm gonna use the Prosecco highlighter in here because it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just gonna plop that on my cheeks. Like I said, I'm not gonna use a blush because I don't wanna like use too much color in my face because my eyes are so dark. It will make me look cray. So just gonna blend that highlighter in. You can see what that looks like there on both sides. Just gonna go over my eyes here a little bit. You can see that. I'm gonna have to blend a lot because this stuff is very intense. Come down the middle of my nose. And I'm gonna do my Cupid's bow. I do have a zit there, so it's probably gonna bring that out more than I want it to, but that's okay. All right. And I'm just gonna blend all that together. The more you blend, the more smooth your face is gonna look. So if it seems like I'm excessively doing this, it's only because I want my face to look really smooth and flawless. So that's why I'm blending so much. So now I'm just gonna take the bronzer in here and I'm just gonna kind of sweep it over my face in the areas that look really pale because I'm gonna look a little bit pale. Rounding my face out a little bit. Okay, so to do my lips, what I'm gonna do is use a primer first on my lips because any lip color that I use, especially as I get older, the lips color tends to run up into my upper lip and I hate that. So Too Faced has this lip insurance that I use and you just put it on and it's kind of like a gloss. And it just keeps your lipstick from running. But it's also really good about making sure that your lipstick stays on. So that's why I really like it a lot. And I'm gonna go in with this Flower Beauty color in, what color is this? Petal Kiss, and I'm trying to let that dry a little bit before I put the lip color on. So you can get a glimpse of what that looks like. So while I do that, I'm going to line the top of my eye. Sorry, I was looking for my liner. Just the top, just to give my lashes a really full effect. Full looking effect. I love this liner because it's so skinny. And I'm not going to do a wing because it's already dark enough that you probably wouldn't even see it. So you see how that just made the top of my eye look really dark. Okay, so that's sticky enough now that I can go ahead and put this color on. This is just a really pretty, like, kind of peachy nude. And it is a matte color, so I am going to add a gloss to it because I'm just a gloss girl. So you can see that color, it's super pretty. But I'm just gonna take an iridescent gloss, and you can take any gloss. This is a clear color, but it just has like a pearl, like iridescent look to it. And I like to add that to the lip just to kind of give it a little bit of a pop. And with that lip insurance that I put on, the primer, it will, even with a gloss on, it will make this last a lot longer than a traditional lipstick with a gloss over it would last. So you can see what it looks like so far. I am gonna do my lashes, and I will say I do use a lash serum, so that's why my eyelashes are very long. But there are tricks to making your eyelashes really long too. So I'm gonna try to, I don't have both of my mascaras here, but I'll tell you how to achieve that look if you don't have the tools, or you don't use a lash serum to make your lashes look fake. What you want to use is a lengthening mascara first, and then use a volumizing mascara second. And I do like two full coats of mascara, and I generally will layer them, but I don't need to do that right now because my lashes are super long. So I'm just going to use the Falsies Push Up Angel. This is more of a mascara that does more lengthening, and it keeps them all really separated, so it's not as volumizing, just so you know. So I'm going to do this, curl my lashes. And then I'm just going to take it, it's like literally one of those really skinny brushes with some longer bristles at the end. And I just kind of wiggle that up through my eyelashes. You can see it's really good about separating them out, and then I have to go over it multiple times because it's very, it keeps them very thin at first. You kind of have to build on it. So I'll start on this side. I am missing like a chunk of lashes right here because I pulled them out. Yes, I'm weird. I know I'm weird, okay? Okay, so I've done that side. Now I'm just gonna go to this side, do the same thing, curl the lashes. Can't believe I still have light right now, it's amazing. This time of year it's really hard to do this because there's no natural light in the house, and I do have like a lighting setup that I can put up, but it's just a pain in the butt, and I'm lazy and I don't have time to do this. So I get it done while I can while the boys aren't here. But they'll be here shortly. I don't know about you guys, but I am not ready for Christmas. I mean, I'm ready for the actual holiday, but being prepared for it is what I'm speaking to, is an entirely different story. Okay, so that eye's done. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit and curl them, and then do one final run through. But one thing I am gonna do, and you don't have to do this, especially if you have smaller eyes. My eyes are really big, so I'm always trying to make them look smaller. But you can go in with like a flesh colored liner or like a white, and that's super pretty if you're trying to make your eyes pop or you're trying to get more of that doe-eyed look. But this look, I like to go in with a black liner. This is the Smashbox Always On gel liner. So I'm gonna put that in on my waterline, just about halfway through my eye. I'm not gonna go all the way in because it'll close my eye up way too much. And if you have brown eyes or hazel eyes like me, this is also really pretty with a navy colored liner. It just tends to give your eyes a little bit more of like a green sort of look, so you can do that as well. So you can see I'm smoky. And I will do a final spritz in just a moment. Okay, so that's dry. I'm gonna do a second coat of mascara. And generally I would go in with a different type of mascara, but I don't have a different type with me, so I'm just gonna do another layer of this mascara. And the trick is letting it dry before you go in again, because if you do it while it's still wet, it just doesn't build as well. So you can see how long those are. If I wanted them to be more like full and individualized, I could go in with falsies like I said, but I suck at falsies still. I'm working on it, I'm getting better at it, but I just feel like insecure with them on, like they're gonna come off at any time. So until I feel like I can get them on better, I'm probably just gonna stick to my own lashes and trying to make them look like I have falsies on. Alright, so I'm just going to finish that off in just a second with the same thing I put on as a primer, because this is super good about making your makeup stay on, and it also helps with all of that powder that we put on our face, because I know we tend to get a little bit powdery looking, but the one thing I love about that RCMA powder is that it doesn't look like you have a crap ton of powder on, and it just looks nice in photos too. It doesn't have flashback, so you're not like, you know, whenever I say flashback, like when someone takes a picture and you look like you have white stuff all over your face. It doesn't look like that at all. So my lashes, hopefully they're dry enough. If you don't wear a waterproof mascara, spray this on before you put your mascara on, or you're gonna have it all over your face. So I'm just gonna quickly spray my face to set all of my makeup on. And my trick that you guys hear me say all the time is if you don't have time to wait on that to dry, you can just pat it down all over your face. And then you're good to go. So I'm going to turn this light on just so you can see what this looks like under light. Whew, that is really bright. So this is what it looks like with the light. This is what it looks like in natural light. But overall, I really like this smoky-eyed look with this lip color. You can go with a deeper lip color, but I will say that the darker the lip color, the more dramatic you're gonna look. So if you're just really going for more of a smoky-eyed look with nude lips, this is the way to go. Or you can add a red color or pink or whatever you want. But generally when you're doing a smoky eye, you kind of want to stick to everything else being very minimalized, like the blush, and just really focus on contour and doing smoky eyes. So hopefully this was helpful. I will link all of the items that I used below in this little video. And if you have any questions, just let me know. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much.